Hello again, second grade. We did some fantastic work yesterday with our word problem and then our naked problem with solving addition and subtraction problems with 3-digit numbers. That learning is going to continue today. We're going to change it up just a little bit. I'm going to be keeping my eagle eye out for certain strategies and tools that we're using to help us solve these problems. Before we get started, let's go ahead and get our learning targets checked out. And I can solve addition and subtraction problems with 3-digit numbers. Now, this is exciting, friends. We're going to continue this work that we did yesterday. But yesterday, if you remember, we were really thinking about showing our work with these base 10 blocks, right? These drawings with our base 10s. Today, we're going to change it a little bit. Now, if that's a strategy that works for you, please do it. That's quite all right. You don't have to do exactly what I'm showing everybody. In fact, if you choose to do your base 10 blocks, your number line, or your partial sums or partial differences, it's a great opportunity for you to compare your work with the work we're putting up here. Not mine. Other students' work that we're putting up here. So if your strategy is not the one that we choose to share, do not stress, my friends, because your work and this work together, when you think about both of them, will help you make deeper connections to the math. So as we share and we solve these problems together, be thinking always about how other strategies and your strategies are similar and different. Let's get started. Jesse collected 895 baseball cards. He gave his friend Brent 368 of his cards. How many baseball cards does Jesse have now? Let me read that to you one more time, and then we're going to talk about what we know and what we're trying to figure out. Jesse collected 895 baseball cards. He gave his friend Brent 368 of his cards. How many baseball cards does Jesse have now? All right, my loves. What do we already know? What do we already know? Yes, he collected 895 baseball cards. What does that mean, he collected them? Is he giving them away, or is he getting them? Yes, a collection is something that you get, right? You collect it. Very good. He gave his friend Brent 368 of his cards. How many baseball cards does he have now? What else do we already know? He gave 368 of his cards. So those he gave to his friend Brent. If he gave them, are we getting more or giving them up? Going away. Yes, we're good. We're giving them away. So we had this amount and we're giving some away. So what are we trying to figure out? How many baseball cards does Jesse have now? So what are we trying to find out? How many he has after he gives some away. He had this many. He gave part of them away. We want to know what does he still have? So what is an equation? Take a few moments and in your math notebooks, write the equation that matches this story. There might be another equation you use to help you solve it, but what I'm asking you to write is an equation that matches this story with a box for the unknown. What are you writing first? Y. That's how many he collected, right? What symbol are you writing? What sign? Why a minus sign? And what else are you doing? What are you taking away from that first number? What's your unknown represent? Yes. All right, friends, let's come together. And what are we writing? 895 minus 368 equals box. Okay, so what does that 895 represent? The collected cards. What does the minus 368 represent? what he gave to Brent. Okay, and then what does this box represent? The cards he has left. So this is the question that we're answering. How many cards does he have now? Okay, so after he gives them away, what does he have left? Okay, so just like we said yesterday, we've done so much of this work already. This is just kind of a review, but it's bringing together all the knowledge we've been working on all year long. We know how to use our open number lines. We know how to do our base 10 blocks like yesterday. Partial sums or differences that can help us solve this, absolutely. So I want you to pick the strategy that works best for you, the one that helps you be the most efficient learner, right? Solves this work efficiently, correctly, and fairly quickly. Go ahead and begin. I'm going to be popping in and asking you questions as you work. What strategy did you choose? So it looks a lot like what we did yesterday, doesn't it? Having to regroup. And what are you having to regroup? Ooh, your 10s and your 1s. How are you showing that on with your base 10 blocks? Ooh, I see your number line. Where are you starting on your number line? And so when you start with 895, are you going forwards or backwards to help you find the unknown? Where is the 368 that you're taking away in your model? There it is. Can you make a big jump and label that for me? Okay, and then where's your unknown? Where's the ones he has left, the cards he has left? You're doing a number line too. Where are you starting on your number line? Okay, and what are you doing with if you're starting at 368, what are you doing next? What are you jumping to? Or where is your 895 in your work? Okay, so where's your unknown in their work? Awesome. All right, friends, coming together in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. And remember, if you're at home, you need to pause me, or if you're in the classroom and you need a minute to finish up, please feel free to do that. We're going to go ahead and share a couple strategies, and then if that's something that you did as well, you can maybe, I hope that you're at home or at school doing this if you see a strategy that you're using too. But you might also see a strategy that you are not using, but you do see how your work is similar to what we're putting up here. And in that case, I want you to turn and tell somebody around you how your work is similar or different, because making those connections helps make those connections up here too. Helps us learn something new about how to solve these problems. All right, we're going to show some number lines today. I've got one friend here, we're going to start us off. So talk to me about your open number line. Okay, and where did you start on that open number line? Okay, on the right side. And why the right side? Because you're going to be going to smaller numbers. Okay, so you're subtracting. So what number did you start with? Okay, and what did you do next? Why did you do a big jump of 300? Okay, because you're taking away 368. And when you took away 300, what did you land on? How did you know you were going to land on 595? Okay, 8 minus 3 equals 5. So 895 minus 300 equals 595. What digit changed? Your hundreds. Okay, what did you do next? All right, so you took away 60. It's a big jump. All right, why 60? All right, it's 6 tens. So what place is going to change when you do that, when you make that jump? The 9, all right, is in that tens place. 9 take away 6 equals, okay, 3. And so where are you landing? 535. Okay, so your tens place changed. Still the hundreds place is 5, right? Or in the ones place is 5 as well. Okay, now what? Oh, you got to take away 8. Oof. So what are you going to do first? Why are you taking away 5 first? Because there's 5 ones there. So if you take 5 ones away, then you're going to have 530. Okay, getting that 10 is a friend. Oh yeah, 10 is a friend. And then what? Why 3 more? 8 is made up of 5 and 3. That's one of those combinations that makes 8. Okay? All right, and so what did you land on? Okay, and so why did your tens place and your ones place change? So if you have 10 and you're taking away 3, you have 7. So you don't have a number in the tens place anymore. So 30 take away 3 is going to be 27. So we're taking away one of those tens. We're going to take away a 10 to break up those ones. All right, and so where is your unknown in this work? All right, 527. I see where your 895 is. Where is your 368? 360, 65, 68. So it's in your jumps. 368 is what you took away, landed on 527, and so that's where that unknown is going to be. Right, I'm seeing a few wiggle waggles. How about you guys at home? All right. Then you did a number line as well, though. Did your number line look the same as this number line? Okay, so what did you do? Okay, so they said, in case you couldn't hear, I was thinking about adding. It's easier for me to add than it is to subtract, kind of like we did yesterday. So what was your equation that you mixed around an equation to help you represent this work? You started with 368. Added what? Added 895? Oh, okay. So you didn't know what you were adding to it because you're trying to get to 895. Okay, so on your number line, what was different? Okay, so you started at 368. And what did you do first? Why a big jump of 500? Okay, so 3 plus 5 is 8. All right. So that's 868. All right, then what did you do? Why did you make a jump of 2? Okay, got you to your 10s. What was your next 10 going to be? 870, all right. So what number are you decomposing if you're making a little jump of 2? Okay, so you're not decomposing this, are you? You're decomposing the ones in that unknown. Oh, okay. So you're not decomposing the 8, but you're adding to the 8 to get to that 10. Ooh, interesting. I guess we'll talk more about that here in just a minute. Then what did you do? Okay, so you're trying to get to 90. All right, so what did you jump then? 20. All right, so then when you added 20 to 870, what did you get? 890. And you have to go 5 more to get to 895. Okay, so you started here, ended here. So then what did you add to 368 to get to 895? 500, 20, and then we have our 7. So what number was it that you decomposed? It was your 7 that you decomposed, 527. Interesting. What do you notice about, I'm going to circle that up. That's where our unknown is. How are these two strategies similar and how are they different? Right? Both number lines. Both got the same answer. Both used 895 and 368 in their equation. One was subtracting and one was adding. The subtraction one had the unknown at the end or after the equal sign. The addition one had the change unknown, right? That's the difference between 368 and 895. The difference is 527. The difference between these two is 527. Very interesting. Can we, why would we want to add to help us subtract? How many of you feel like it's easier to add than it is to subtract? I see that a lot from my kids in my classroom too. We feel a lot more comfortable adding than we do subtracting. Which one, what do you guys think? We did a number line today and we did the base 10 bucks yesterday. Which one did you feel like was a little bit more comfortable to use? I have to agree. I also felt like the number line was a little bit easier to use. I started getting confused when we were doing the work with our base 10. Usually base 10 is a little bit easier for me to use, but to add, to find the unknown with the unknown in the change spot was much trickier. Anybody else find that? Well, we're going to solve another stop and practice without the story, a naked problem. Okay, that means it doesn't have a story with it. We just have to kind of visualize what we know in our heads. And I want us to apply this same idea, how we can really make these connections between our addition and our subtraction, and how we can see the relationship between those, right? They're very similar. Same numbers, same answer, same tool even that we can use, but that unknown is in a different spot. It wouldn't make sense to have it still over here because 368 plus 895 wouldn't be 527. So that wouldn't work. We still have to ask ourselves, does that make sense? Because if it doesn't, we need to go back, we need to look at it. So our stop and practice is another subtraction problem. And then I'll let you do the addition on your own to use whatever strategy you like to use. 500 before you do your independent practice. 572 minus 345. Now I want you all, I'm going to amp up our challenge just a hair, okay? I want you to write the addition sentence that could help you solve this one. So we wrote this one together, right? You did this one on your own based off of the story. I'm giving you the subtraction problem. Take a moment and I want you to write the addition sentence that would help you solve this subtraction sentence. Which would be its partner in crime? Which would it be? What would you start with? What would your symbol be? Where is your unknown? Thumbs in front of your tummies when you've got them. Where is that hole in your equation? All right, remember to pause me if you're not quite ready. Okay, what number are we gonna put first? This was the smaller number, so let's start this one with a smaller number. This one's 345. Everybody's hollering at me. The plus sign. Who agrees? If I say write the addition sentence to match the subtraction sentence, we're gonna write a plus sign, right? And then what? Yes, this is where that unknown is going to go now, right? And what's it going to equal? That 572. Remember, if we have a number bond, are we missing a whole or are we missing a part? We're missing the part, right? We know 572 is our whole. We know 345 is one of our parts, but we don't know the other part. Up here, we know that Jesse had a whole of 895 cards, right? We know that part of it he gave to his friend Brent, and part of it he still had, okay? So it's that part that he gave away, or it's that part that he still has that we don't know. Very similar to this. We know there's 572 of something. We know that this is part of that. And we don't know what other part helps make up that 572. So our part and our part equal our whole, right? Our whole take away a part is going to help us find that other part. Now I want you to solve. Use whatever strategy works best for you to make sense of this problem. And we're going to come together and you're going to play me again as soon as you're ready. I'm going to make sure I ask you, these are things I want you to think about while you're working. Okay? What are we trying to find out? Where is that in your equation? And where is it in your model? So where's your 572 in your model? Where's your 345 in your model? And that's either your base 10, your number line, your partial sums or partial differences. And where's that unknown in your model? If you're not done, pause me and we'll come together here in just a second. Alrighty. Number line starting out for our subtraction. Where are you starting, my love? 572. Okay, what are you doing first? And why are you taking away your 300? Because there's 300 you're taking away from it. Absolutely. There's your minus 300. And what do you land on when you take away 300? Why 272? Because 500s take away 300s equals 200s. 500s take away 300s equals 200s. Then what? Taking away 40, and where is that coming from? The 4 in the tens place. So where are you going to take the 4 from in 272? The 7, okay? So if you have 7 tens, you take away 4 tens, how many tens do you have left? You have 3 tens left. 7, take away 4, equals 3, okay? Then what? You need to take away 5 ones. Are you going to take away 5 and then hold the first jump? How are you decomposing your 5? Why 2 and 3? Why not 4 and 1 or 0 and 5 or 1 and 4 or 3 and then 2? Okay, because there's a 2 in the ones place. If I take 2 away, what am I going to land on? 230, which is a 10 is a friend. 10 is a friend. Okay, and then what? There's that 3 you're going to take away. And where does that help you land? 227. Makes you think of that same 30 there, taking away 3 away. So where's your 572 in your model? Where's your 345? 300, 40, 42, 43, 44, 45. I always like to do one big jump there so I can see where that is in my work. And then what's your unknown? 227. Wiggle waggle if that's the same thing you got. You know what we're going to have a lot of fun doing is showing the other way to use that number line, and I hope, fingers crossed, it should work, right? So one of the things that you all said at the beginning of our time yesterday was that knowing multiple ways to use our models and multiple strategies helps us double check our work. If we don't get the same answer, we've done something wrong, right? Okay, so when you drew your number line to match this work, where did you start? 345. Start, so kind of like the beginning, the middle, and the end of a story, right? Then what are you going to do? You're trying to get to 572. So what are you adding? Okay, so if you add 200 to 345, what are you going to land on? 545. What place change? Hundreds, right? 300 plus 200 equals 500. Then what? Why did you make a jump of 20 and not a jump of 30? A jump of 30 would get you would be 575. But what are you trying to get to? 572. So 575 would be too far, wouldn't it? We could do it. We could jump back. That'd be hard, wouldn't it? Yeah. All right, so when you jumped 20, what'd you land on? 565, okay? And then what are you going to do? Y of 5? Gets you to 570, and then what? 2 more gets you to 572. All right, so we see where you started. We see where you ended. Okay, so where's the unknown? In your jumps. And what do we have for those jumps? 200, 220, 225, 226, 227. 227. What do you notice? Same number, right? All right, so we got a 227. Guys, can we use addition to help us solve subtraction? We most certainly can. Are they all the numbers going to be in the same order? No. But can we do it? Yeah. Does it make it easier sometimes? It most certainly does. On your own, before you head back to your seats and do your independent practice, I want you to solve this addition sentence for me. And then you'll go ahead and have a couple problems. Some are problems in stories and some are naked problems to show either addition or subtraction, because that's what we're doing today, right? We are solving addition and subtraction problems with 3-digit numbers. Tomorrow I'm going to teach you a game. Can't wait to work with you guys. Have a great day.